Hi, my name's Nik Wyers and I'm the Joint Managing Director at the Floorbrite Group alongside my brother Alex Wyers. We're a family-based business in the Northwest with regional offices in Yorkshire and the Midlands, and we provide commercial cleaning and soft FM services across the UK to all sectors. I'm here to talk to you today about the impact of COVID-19 on our industry and how Floorbrite have survived and in some respects even thrived throughout this national pandemic so far. There's no doubt that cleaning operatives, janitors and housekeepers across the country deserve their key worker status, and I'm really happy to see a newfound respect in general for what our workers have done during the pandemic. For all those businesses and services that needed to stay open during lockdown, our cleaners, and I'm talking collectively, all our cleaners were still out there going to work. Many were fearful about contracting coronavirus, but they still turned into work on a daily basis to ensure that our customer sites were safe and clean to work in. And we personally commend them for doing their part in keeping the United Kingdom going and safe. But for all those sites that closed, mainly in the office and hospitality sectors, what about those employees? What does the future look like for those cleaners and those businesses, and how is this all impacting on our industry? Fortunately, Floorbrite have always provided cleaning services across all sectors, which has been a benefit to us during this time. So despite the shutting down of offices, which is a significant part of what we do, and also in the hospitality sector, we were able to bolster the drop in revenue with our customers across essential sites, retail sites like supermarkets, public sector, distribution, manufacturing, education, healthcare and the energy sector. If we hadn't had such a diverse portfolio spreading that risk, I think the situation might have been very different for us. To spread that risk even further, we also diversified a few years ago into soft FM services like waste and environmental management, pest control, plants and grounds maintenance, and even security. Plus, we supply a whole range of washroom and consumable items. Consumable items include the likes of hand sanitizer and toilet paper, which we have seen a huge surge in demand over recent months, leading to a shortage in supplies in some cases. For all those cleaning operatives at essential sites, it's mostly been business as usual. But obviously, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes with COVID protocols and processes to keep our people safe whilst working. But for those cleaners working on sites that then closed, fortunately, we were able to support them through the government furlough scheme. In total, we directly employ 1,600 staff, and at the highest point during lockdown, we had 580 of our cleaners on furlough. That's just over a third of our workforce, but fortunately that's come down to just over 200 as a mix of full and flexible furlough. Unfortunately, this second spike in COVID is seeing that reduction slow down, and in some cases people are going back onto the furlough scheme for the time being. Fortunately, we made the decision very early on to remain fully open and not furlough any of our office staff, business development and operational people. So all supporting colleagues at head office were able to put all hands on deck and make those essential communications and bespoke plans with each other and every one of our customers as to what was happening with their sites. They were closing at different times, some only reducing service, others increasing, and then obviously there has been the reopening of sites to manage too. It's been extremely busy, but we worked together with our customers, and I'm really happy to say that we've had a lot of support from them. In respect to our workforce of cleaners, and our area managers and health and safety team have been brilliant in supporting them too. We've provided lots of communication, support through our employee assistant programme for mental health and everyday issues, plus back to work packs for all staff, including face coverings and personal hand sanitizers. For our HR and payroll and accounts teams, the task has been massive, managing many individual changes, as we can see. And that's going to be going on for some time as clients continue to change their requirements, which is ultimately led by the government and the whole situation around COVID. From a business perspective, obviously technology has played a key part in the success of our operation. From the very first day of lockdown, all of our staff went home to work with laptops and additional screens and equipment, who were all supported by our amazing IT department. And I'm pleased to say that we adapted pretty quickly and nearly everyone was communicating by Skype initially, which we then progressed over to Microsoft Teams. In the beginning, we had a daily board and departmental meetings, and most days I was literally on screen all day and still am at the moment, which can be pretty exhausting in one respect, but at the same time, we couldn't have managed without it. The business development team have really benefited through the use of virtual presentations to customers, and we've realised that it's been a really efficient and productive way of working to achieve what would have otherwise been nearly impossible. My sister Nina, our marketing and brand director, has also utilised technology to the max, and all her communications and PR has been through digital and social channels with really great engagement. So it's clear everyone else has made that transition too. Right now we've progressed to a hybrid scenario, so we're back in the office part-time, and I can see this balance remaining for some time now. So going back to cleaning, yes, all of a sudden everyone has become more cleaning conscious. It's on everyone's radar. You'll remember when our cleaners were praised in Parliament for their contribution, and as people try to navigate this new world, they thankfully have a much greater focus on cleaning in their workplaces, which we believe has actually heightened the profile of our industry. Very quickly, we adapted to all these changes, and we now provide high touchpoint cleaning and additional services across our sites. We've introduced a virucidal range to tackle COVID, deep cleaning, decontamination fogging, and electrostatic spraying by our specialist teams with some really great and innovative chemicals and products, plus a whole host of workplace solutions, including sanitizer stations and dispensers, workstation screens, self-cleaning surfaces, and air sanitizers. I'm sure you'll agree, this time has been challenging for everyone. Sadly, some more than others, but for the Floorbrite Group, it's about supporting our staff and client base. The office sector could look very different in the future. Many large office sites are only returning in 2021, so they won't want their cleaners right now. Some will get rid of their office space altogether, so will no longer need us at all. Some might reduce their office space. Some businesses are just not going to make it at all, unfortunately. And the hospitality and events industry are just in an awful situation at the moment too. For Floorbrite and other cleaning businesses, where does this leave us? We're looking to the 31st of October and towards the end of the furlough scheme. We know the government have introduced the job support scheme, but in many cases, this is not going to work for us because in very basic terms, we sell labour. So we're looking to redeploy as many of those displaced staff as we can to other sites. And then for worst case scenarios, I'm afraid we'll have no other option but to look at redundancy to protect the entire business. There are a small number of customers that are unable to open and that we are working with already, but sadly we do think that there will be more to follow that we're not yet aware of. I don't think the future is bleak for our sector at all, actually. Although our industry, like most, took a big hit during the national lockdown and inevitably some jobs will be lost as businesses close, we have definitely seen a bounce back as businesses have reopened. There's going to be a continued focus on additional cleaning and new innovations for the foreseeable, which is great for business. And as long as our cleaning companies continue to adapt quickly, use technology and innovation, then customers will always want your services. We're delighted to say that we've won some of our largest accounts in 2020, and in the last week, our single biggest account in Floorbrite's history so far. So it's possible with forward-thinking minds and a great team behind you to achieve great things. Personally, I'd like to thank all of our staff for their hard work and support during this time. and we look forward for Floorbrite being here for many years to come. So thanks for your time, and I look forward to meeting you in person at the Manchester Cleaning Show in 2021.